What's going on? Just getting this set up. What's up, Lori? How you doing? Appreciate it. Oh, Natalie. Lori just beat you. Barely. Have a good night's sleep there, Lori. Thanks for saying hi. What did you think about that live tonight, Natalie? AD's already live. Apparently it made him pretty upset. Pretty upset. Poor guy. He was over there
Team deathmatch.
talking about
All Strasser destroy the
Patty,
enemy.
just like Rusty said he would.
We have the lead.
Go. Oh, the other dude killed him.
Reloading.
Dude's all the way in the back. Yeah, I thought he was. I won. Kept hitting Q instead of the number one. Oh. Yeah. I saw Patty went ahead and set up a live stream for tomorrow. So obviously she was watching and didn't like.
I'm on your 6.
I mean, that's the problem. These guys, they comment on stuff, and you know, all they can do is make personal attacks and say, like, you lie, you lie, you lie, you lie. But you know, they don't talk about what you lie about. You know, it's all it is again,
Hands online.
personal attack.
Got your
Our
cover.
UAV is orbiting the area.
So, dude's hiding down here.
They're here.
I got him.
Blood. Chasing Mac.
Hey, where do I find the 12-point video y'all were talking about? You talking about from last night? His live? It's not up.
Holding.
Because Johnny struck it.
Friendly UAV on station.
You know, so which took it down.
Hostile
So,
UAV in
Mac.
this sector.
yeah, it's not out there anywhere. Because that copyright, it'll take like 10 days for him to clear the video. And then
Friendly UAV online.
Mike probably won't put it back up anyway. It really wasn't there wasn't a whole lot to it. He, shit. Mike he hadn't really got done reading intros and super chats. I mean, and it got taken off when Johnny hit the content strike. So I doubt he'll put it back up anyway. Again, it was probably only 30 minutes, 45 maybe. But yeah, Johnny was good and triggered.
You're halfway to mission complete. Keep fighting. Friendly sentry active.
Reloading.
What's funny is he's got this. Johnny's guys are pushing this new narrative that, you know, Johnny wants out of all this stuff and he's not talking about Ryan anymore.
Loading. Grenade out.
High alert online.
Which is
Friendly
ridiculous.
cruise missile approaching target.
Holy shit. Kaboom. Patty, you really went loco, bud. Nobody wants to watch her damn live. She probably won't go live.
Friendly sentry deployed.
She gets real emotional and she sets up these lives, you know, like as a response to somebody. She's done it multiple times.
Friendly cruise missile deployed.
Where it's just, she never goes through with actually doing them. So.
Changing mag.
I could be wrong though.
Hostile UAV overhead.
But yeah, I doubt she actually does it.
Our chopper gunner is inbound hot.
I mean, just like Rusty said, they're gonna push that narrative of, you know, going after women, you know, as a whole.
Friendly UAV online.
But yeah, it's no secret what these guys do and how they operate. Where are these guys?
Throw a grenade.
What a good
Changing
day
back.
for that guy. I knew he was coming. What happened for Mike to stop doing lives? Last my episode can't not talk about Ryan. Nothing. I mean, nothing happened with Mike. He just doesn't do them like super often. You know, he does one about every, I don't know, 10 days or so.
Our UAV is orbiting the
And
area.
he'll make a video here and there. But yeah, he doesn't do them a whole lot.
Inbound friendly
Request
SAE.
fire.
What happened to Mike? Stop doing all that. No, I mean, he can talk about Johnny all he wants.
Keep it up.
Not even close. Rusty, not even close to that guy at all. Too nice to hate on him. Again, it's just
Grenade out!
It's an agenda that they like to push. Like I said, you can't.
I'm hit!
It's hard for people to defend the truth because I mean, what can you say?
Drago!
Mission is complete. Good work.
What can you say? You don't like the truth. You don't like the truth. I'm getting people are sending me messages and shit that AD's talking shit about me. I could care less. Could care less. I see him on other people's panels, but when he does lives lately, I don't get notifications. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Mike. YouTube is like it's they do some weird stuff. Like it's oh yeah, there's Mud Digger. No, I didn't mean it like that, Mud Digger. I'm saying like I could care less if he's talking about me. Like
Capture and secure the objective.
I heard it. Rusty and I listened in for a minit just because we knew they were gonna
Secure Bravo.
run with the Patty thing and, you know, the attacking women narrative. Just because that's what they do.
Target down.
Bravo
Just like
secure.
Rusty said they would.
I've got your back.
You know.
Drago!
He,
Enemy is securing Charlie.
I don't know. All they can do is, I was telling not enough earlier, all they can do is make personal attacks.
Securing Charlie.
Because, I mean, you
Enemy
can't
securing Bravo.
dispute the truth.
Charlie secure.
And they hate it. I mean, you can't change the truth. Because it is what it is.
We secured the lead. Enemy is taking Charlie. We are losing Bravo.
Yeah, I mean, people obviously know that. I don't know.
Enemy took Charlie.
They just, again, all they can do is,
Enemy is taking Bravo.
all they can do, like
What's
I
your
said, you
back?
wanna
Fast hands activated.
sit on there and
Enemy
say, well, you're a
securing
liar,
Bravo.
you're a liar, you're a liar. Well, how, you know, how am I lying?
Securing objective Charlie.
You know?
We are losing Bravo. Objective Charlie secure.
And that's the problem.
The enemy took Bravo.
You can't tell me how I'm lying or what I lied about. You can just try to discredit as much as you want.
Target spotted. Oh. I'll cover you. They tagged
Hostile
me.
UAV active.
But no, I haven't said a whole lot about Patty. Like I said, I feel bad for Ryan that, you know, that he has to
Enemy
put up with
control
that.
objective. Push
Reloading.
the offensive.
I mean, I couldn't imagine my mother like
We are taking Bravo.
befriending like a bad enemy of mine just to get to me.
Drop.
You know.
Blood. I'm low on ammo.
I'm getting low on ammo.
Requesting recon flyover.
Securing objective Bravo. Objective Bravo secure. Enemy is taking Bravo.
I knew that was coming. Hey, Night Mud Digger.
We are
I
losing
followed you
Charlie.
back on IG.
Enemy is securing Bravo. Shit, we have lost Bravo. High alert activated. Свинья, we have lost all objectives. Failure of UAV in the sector. Securing Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, there's really just a small group of people that support him
Hostile cluster
over
marked
there.
friendly UAV on station.
Loading.
Like, if you go over there, I bet you there's
We are taking Alpha.
probably less than,
Alpha secure.
Take a door nap,
there's probably 15, maximum like 20 people. Well, I mean, it's late.
UAV ready for testing.
Chasing mag.
But it doesn't matter when AD goes live. That's that core group. And there's a certain faction that are there just to hear what he says.
Contact.
Loading.
The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Move to secure.
Requesting recon flyover.
Copy that.
AD is not,
Enemy is securing Alpha.
he's not that smart of a guy, and he says some dumb shit.
We are taking Charlie.
Got your back.
The enemy is getting ground. Push them back.
Contact.
Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO.
But yeah, when you get on there and if you want to debate somebody, debate them. But if you get on there to just personally attack people, you know, it just makes you look even more guilty. You know?
I'm with you.
Oh, I see you up.
Reloading.
Oh, shit! Setting mine!
I see. Oh, there you are. I got it. Does suck. I said y'all's live. I wish he still had his grandpa Chicken Willie from him talking about his songs, and they were very close. Yeah. I bet that was a cool old man.
Enemy is taking Alpha. We are losing Alpha.
Taking effective fire.
Securing
Chasing mag.
objective Charlie. The enemy holds all objectives. Secure those positions.
A lot of times I wonder, like, how they get the support that they do. And again, it's just the people that support that are
Securing objective
people that
Alpha.
really hate Ryan for some reason or another. And it's just a place that they can hang out.
We are taking Charlie.
And they congregate to those several
Hostile
channels.
UAV overhead. Enemy is taking Alpha. Securing Charlie. The enemy has captured all objectives. Take them back.
And that's where they have
We
their
control Charlie.
church haters meeting.
Multiple mover spotted! Planting mine!
Do not die here.
The enemy holds 2 objectives. Enemy is taking Charlie.
Got one.
giving them yeah, that's crazy.
Throwing flash grenade.
Like I said, we know Johnny, like when that video came up, all of those totaled
We're getting
$10,000
hit hard.
to Johnny's account. But
Target down.
if what Sly was saying was
We are
true,
losing Charlie.
that's kind of crazy.
We are taking Bravo. Hostile UAV
Loading.
active.
Requesting recon flyover.
Copy. UAV orbiting the AO.
We control Bravo. Enemy is securing Charlie.
Dang.
Mission failed. Return to
Look at
base.
me with 21 kills. I'll never do that good. We got spanked though. But yeah, I mean, if Johnny got $10,000 in that time period, and then Melinda was getting, well, I don't know for a fact. We've seen the proof on, you know, on Johnny's Cash App that he got the money. But yeah, if she was getting a couple thousand here and there, and getting the daughter to, you know, to come around, that's pretty wild. Sorry, I'm answering some texts. Oh shit. Oh no, that's good. So weird how infatuated he is with Ryan. Can't
Right, mates.
get
It's
him for
on.
like cyber stalking. I mean, I don't. You talking about Johnny? I mean, I don't think he's. I don't think he's breaking any laws like that. I mean, it's just. It's obviously not a healthy ordeal, right? I mean. Yeah, putting himself in the family tree. Yeah, it was funny. That one live, I mean, he was talking like, you know, he was with Patty, like, you know, like his stepfather. Oh gosh, the dude's just laying there. Good lord. But yeah, I mean, Johnny will do anything he can to get close to that. And that's what's sad. I mean, I kind of feel bad because he's too dumb to actually see what Patty's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Patty's completely using him right now, and you know, Johnny doesn't see it, but he's going to be thrown away. You know, after his usefulness to Patty disappears. And I mean, Natalie, we talk about, I mean, look, there's,
Fast hands online.
you know, we talk about the vault and like we kid about it, but I mean, that shit, it really does exist. Like the recordings that are out there of Justice, like, and you know, Patty has said some of the most vile shit about Johnny that you could fucking imagine. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. But again, Johnny's so dumb, he doesn't care. He'll look past all that and say, hey, you know, that's forgiven. You know, this is a new day. Because he doesn't want to give up that just little bit of hope that he has for, you know, a little more access to that family.
Planting Claymore!
Because again, I mean, if Patty somehow gets back into Ryan's good graces, I mean, one of the first things that she will do is apologize for, you know, congregating with the likes of Johnny. You know, so it's just, I feel bad for him in that way. Definitely feel bad for him.
Grenade out!
Because again, I mean,
Enemy in the area!
Patty can literally tell him anything and he'll run with it. And, you know, not even question the validity of it or if it's true. Hey, Nada. What's up? I was just explaining to Natalie how at the end of the day I kind of feel sorry for Johnny because
Hostile UAV in the area.
he's too dumb to realize what Patty's doing to him. And when all this is done and over, he's going to see that he was just used. She's manipulated now. Yeah. What do you mean his whole life? I mean, hell,
The enemy's gaining
they
ground.
didn't really
Push
know
them
each
back.
other for a while. You know? Let's see here. I need to try to make a phone call real quick. Oh, you're talking about she's manipulated Ryan his whole life. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that dynamic. Not sure about that. You said at the beginning I thought she was a sweet lady and she sang on stage, wrote about them in songs and stuff. That's sad. Yeah, I mean, I think there were mistakes that were definitely made on all sides because you know, Ryan, he probably shouldn't have put his mother in that position. You know, I think that, I don't know, friends and family when it comes to business is
Capture the package or clear the AO. Your call, Saber.
you know, usually a bad idea.
On your six!
It's not that you can't trust people. It's just,
I'm getting lit up!
it typically turns out to just be bad all around.
Changing mags! Tossing a nade!
Dropped their sniper.
What are we playing? Knockout? Oh shit! I'm
Fast hands activated.
playing the
This
wrong
round is
shit.
ours. Ready up for the next one.
Man, I don't even know what I'm playing here.
Switch inside. Knockout.
Yeah, I didn't know that shit. You know, about the judgments and all that shit until Rusty looked it up today. All right, Natalie. But yeah, it's just a bad situation all around. But I love how now, like, we're evil for bringing it up. I mean, what is Rusty just supposed to sit there and, you know, she can just say whatever she wants without response? Yeah, definitely. He should have hired accountants. He should have people that, you know, there should be a business manager that manages the money. And if you want Patty to work for you, that's great, you know. And that's where I was saying Ryan carries some of this responsibility on his own. You know, like, she should have had a fixed salary. And, you know, that's what it was. But there should always be, when it comes to spending company assets, it should never be up to only one person to do that and it goes unchecked. I mean, even Ryan shouldn't put himself in that position to where there's always another third party that's always looking out for your best interest. So, I mean, now I know that he's hired some business managers to handle that. And again, this, at the end of the day, this will just be a good lesson learned. So I don't know that Patty, like, meant ill or what her intentions were, but, you know, she just got caught up in it. But, you know, even for somebody that's, you know, wealthy, I mean, Ryan can make his own decisions, but
Team deathmatch.
you know,
Saber 1, you're clear to engage all threats.
somebody should always be looking at that stuff. And I get it. I mean, Ryan, I hate these nighttime maps. He's, you know, the guy's obviously a giver, and, you know, as we get older, we find out that, you know, it feels better to give something, right, than to get it. And, you know, that's kind of his thing. He likes doing nice things for people that he considers friends. You know, and cars are kind of his thing. I know he kind of looks up or looks at Elvis as an idol, and that's what Elvis did. We don't know much about Belushi because he's always been in the background. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's not the right man for the job, but you know, that's for somebody else to determine, right? You know, again, it seemed like, God, why do they keep putting me in this stupid freaking map?
Team deathmatch.
It's for somebody else to
All
figure
Saber,
out.
You've got the nod.
You know, and I've never heard about anybody. I mean, I watched Ryan's last video, and everybody's talking about how horrible it is, or I mean, you know, the people that talk against Ryan. I didn't think it looked that bad. But to me, videos are really, I mean, more about the music than anything. Yeah, exactly. You got to know your limits. Not enough. And she didn't have any because, like you said after that, there were no checks and balances. You know, like I said, if I was Ryan myself, you know, even if I controlled 100% of the money, I would still want somebody behind me looking at that, you know. Because so many people that have been in Ryan's position before end up broke. The cool thing about Ryan is he's made it to a point where he has, you know, independently, you know, so owning that catalog is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge ordeal, right?
We've lost the lead. Team deathmatch.
So, you know, that'll help him a lot more than. What the heck is going on? Why am I in third person?
Fast hands.
Shit. Why is it doing this?
We have the lead.
What the frick is going on?
Approaching your six.
Moving here.
Okay, something's happening here.
Moving here.
I have to go hide and see why I'm in
Moving here.
third person view. Oh my God, that guy just went right by me. That was the enemy. He didn't shoot me. How did he not see me laying there? There he is. No, he did it again. Fucking idiot. He must think I'm dead.
Hostile UAV overhead.
I can't believe that guy. Change from third person view.
Hostiles in the area.
Watch your fire!
Switching mags. Watching your six.
I'm taking fire! Tomichichi, target down!
That's weird. No, I was laying there because it's got me in. It had me in like a third person view. like to where it was like not first person. So I'm trying to figure out how to, if I accidentally hit a setting or something. What's up, old folks? So let's see if I can change that. Controller, field of view. Alright, hopefully it's fixed. Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard in the chat, but I was telling people to put up some prayers for Stephanie Stinnett. She kind of has some medical stuff going on that kind of seems out of nowhere, where she's in the hospital. I would say more about it, but I didn't get her permission to do so, so maybe she doesn't want people to know the details. But yeah, y'all just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She had a funny, of course she made the email was still super funny. Even, you know, in her rough time. What did she say in the stream, Nana?
We may be compromised.
Okay, so now the view thing is fixed now, so that's good.
Capture and secure the objectives.
Got your 6!
Charlie secure.
We've taken the lead.
We're taking Bravo.
But yeah, it's funny, right before I got the email,
We control Bravo.
like Rusty and I didn't have anything planned in particular for tonight. So I was thinking it'd be a good night for Stephanie to come hang out with us, because we had talked about her coming up sometime. And I was thinking about it, and then literally 2 minutes later I saw that email. I was going to email Rusty the link for tonight, and that's when I saw it. I just heard somebody on the
Two
stairs.
objectives secure. We're taking Alpha.
Swapping mags!
God, that's really loud. Oh, no wonder I got it turned up louder than shit. What did she say about it in the chat that you had seen?
Dropped one!
She has lupus and fibromyalgia and had to go in for
Friendly
some
UAV
testing.
on station.
Yeah, she said a specialist came And she had to have some. I guess if she told that, she doesn't mind me saying she had to get 2 blood transfusions, and they're keeping a close eye on her because they think that something could potentially be off with her heart. So it sounded like she was doing better,
Enemy securing
but it
Bravo.
seems like they're kind of just monitoring her right now. But that's some scary stuff for sure.
The enemy took Bravo.
One of my paranoias now, and I thought about the other day, like I'm completely against the C jab. If y'all know what that is, the old vax.
The enemy controls 2 objectives. Get after him.
And I always thought that. Well, I went in. I had to go to the hospital like last July, or no, 2 Julys ago. I had an infection, and I had to be hospitalized for IV antibiotics. And of course, I lied to them when I checked in that I had been vaxxed.
Enemy spotted.
And like I was paranoid that like they would just push it through my IV or something. But I was thinking about it. If you get a blood transfusion from somebody that's had the vax, like
We control Alpha.
that shit probably lives in the blood.
We're losing Alpha. Hostile cruise missile incoming.
You got fibromyalgia?
We've lost Alpha.
Yeah, I remember I was having some weird shit going on, musculoskeletal type shit that they couldn't
Secure
figure out for a
Bravo.
while, and they were looking at that as a potential
Bravo secure.
potential culprit. So I did a lot of research on it. This was years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago, and at that time, you know, there was a lot of argument between.
High alert.
Like there was a faction of doctors that said, you know, it's just basically a bullshit thing that doctors would use to diagnose people that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with them.
We control 2 objectives.
And that, you know, it didn't really exist. And then, you know, there was another side that completely, you know, was like, yes, at 100%, this is real. And here's all the data to back it up, you know. So I haven't looked at it in, you know, 15, 20 years, but I do know that people are greatly affected by it,
Friendly UAV
the
online.
ones that have it.
You're halfway to mission complete. Stay
It
sharp.
says the spike protein. Yeah, I did know it was also more common in women as well, as is lupus.
We're losing Charlie.
I've heard of
Securing
more,
objective
like,
Alpha.
I don't know if
UAV
it's
is
just
orbiting
getting
the
older,
area.
but
We've lost Charlie.
I've heard of a lot more
Securing
people.
Alpha.
You know, I've run into more people in life that lupus, it seems,
Our counter UAV is active.
to be much more
We're
common.
losing Bravo. Securing Charlie. The enemy holds all objectives. We're getting our asses kicked. We control Charlie. We're taking Alpha. Objective Alpha secure.
MMA, what is MMA? Not enough. Ah, shoot.
Enemy securing Charlie.
I know you're not talking about mixed martial arts.
Enemy's taking Charlie. We've secured 2 objectives.
Oh, mRNA. Myrna. Is that like MRSA?
With you, mate.
Like another
Enemies taking Alpha.
infection?
Friendly UAV online. Objective Alpha is compromised. Get it. Securing Objective Bravo.
mRNA.
Bravo secure.
When you say spike protein, is that like a condition of like protein in the blood, or are you saying that your
Enemies
protein
taking
level
Bravo.
spiked?
Bravo.
It's in the. Oh, I got you.
Changing mags!
Yeah, I'm telling you that shit.
We
is
control 2 objectives.
like the FD A is. They're not even like trying to hide the shit, like the numbers. Like it's there in the open.
UAV standing by.
Swapping mags! Need recon overhead!
I saw a thing on Instagram like, about talking about how many kids will
Changing
end
mags!
up getting the jab this year, and like, and it's saying, you know, that
UAV is bingo fuel.
the fact that that many will get it and it will save 0 lives.
Grenade!
Watch this.
Missile standing by.
Mags!
Dude's pissed.
Grenade!
We're losing Charlie.
They're gonna come around this way. Watch.
Our UAV is orbiting the area.
Alright, where's he coming from?
The enemy took Charlie. We've got him on the run. Keep it up. Trojan 6 securing Objective Alpha.
Oh, where are you at? Shit.
Impact. No
Oh, he
joy.
didn't see me. That guy didn't see me. Look.
We're taking Alpha. Hostile Wilson deployed. The enemy holds 2 objectives. Secure those. Friendly counter UAV is on station. Enemies taking Bravo. Securing Alpha.
Come on.
Mission complete. Solid work.
Let's see. Says spike protein. Happens tomorrow morning. Look into it. You have 0 recourse. It actually lowers your immunity. I mean, the shit that I've seen is like, it's crazy. Like, the CIA was even paying people to say that it, you know, didn't come out of that lab and fucking weird shit. Went deep into it, and I'm the only one that didn't get it. All my doctors tried. Yeah. Yeah, old folks. Yeah, good for you. I mean, I know right now, like, I've just seen so many things, especially like with young athletes, right? And, you know, athletes you know, the one thing that they have in common is they're forced, you know what I'm saying, by the organizations. You know, like whether it's the NCAA, the NFL, you know, NBA, you know, whoever it is, they're forced to take it. And you're starting to see a lot of these folks with issues. Like I've had a blood clot issue.
Team deathmatch. All Jaeger, destroy the enemy.
Which my left leg is pretty much torched.
We have taken the lead.
I had the great idea one day to ride a two-wheel dolly in the back of my office like it was a Segway. So I ended up falling forward. I broke a couple of ribs and had like a super nasty bruise like on my shins and like leg. And my ribs healed, were starting to heal up. Anyway, it was only a few weeks out from that. I ended up catching the flu. I've never taken a flu shot either.
With you, mate.
Ever. And it's the worst flu like I've had. Like it kept me down for a week. And you know, the thing that never really healed well was that big contusion I had like on my leg. So, you know, I lay dormant for, you know, pretty much sedentary for a week. And started having some like, in the weekend I was having some weird pains like groin area, like leg, you know, some different shit. But no swelling, nothing like that. And that was over the weekend. And then Monday on the way to work, I noticed like my ankle was itching like crazy, like driving in.
We have taken the lead.
And once I got there, I lifted up my pant leg, and my leg was just freaking huge, like swollen. And I ended up having a clot from my ankle to my groin. But I was only, you know, 20-some years old, mid-20s, late 20s. And you know, they started the medication, and they should have, you know, all the doctors know now, they should have done surgery. And they only have a finite amount of time to do the surgery. Because you know, the clots, you know, they dissolve. But what doesn't dissolve, it's been explained to me like it's the consistency of leather, and it just binds itself to the vein walls. So you can't go in and take it out because you take the vein with it, you know, once it's set up. So it didn't heal like they thought it was.
Target down.
So it left me with, you know, quite a bit of damage. So they put me on, you know, heparin for a little while, and then Coumadin. I was on Coumadin for a while, and then about 2 years later, they pulled me off of Coumadin, and within 90 days, I had another clot, same spot. So that one cleared itself up fine. They put me back on Coumadin. Then about a year later, they took me off Coumadin again. Boom, had another clot within like 60 days. So at that point, like, they did some genetic profiling.
Our UAV is orbiting the
And I had
area.
this shit called Factor V Leiden, and I had like a protein S deficiency, which would have some
UAV
clotting
online.
factors. And so I was on Coumadin all the way up to when I went to the hospital for that infection 2 Julys ago. They redid the genetic testing. There's got to be a guy right there. Where the heck's he at? Is he like right there? Oh, there he is. He's behind that thing.
Swapping mags!
So they redid the testing and everything was clear. Like it wasn't showing up anymore, like in the genetic testing. And I hadn't had a clot in like 10 years.
I'm getting... Bro,
At least 10
I need
years,
medical.
like maybe 15. So they took me off of Coumadin 2 years ago. And I haven't had any issues since. So yeah, sorry I was away from my mic. But yeah, it's kind of it was scary there for a while, but at least with the Coumadin, like I always felt protected from it. But compression stockings help, even though I don't wear them much. I was religiously wearing a compression stocking on my left leg for years. And it helped a lot with the pain, but there's just some days that, do I take baby aspirin? No, I probably should. What is that, like 100 milligrams or something?
Changing mags!
I forgot how good of a pain medication ibuprofen was, because I didn't take it forever. I got super lucky with Coumadin because my dad was on it the last couple years of his life, and they could never get his INR regulated. But I mean, pretty much any time I would go, I took 7.5 milligrams a day, and my INR was always 2.5. Like, it was always perfect. So I mean, I only had to get my shit checked like every 60 to 90 days. There were a couple times where it got up to like 4, and my kidneys would hurt. And that's not a side effect or nothing, but like, I would go in, I would make an appointment. I'd tell the nurses, I was like, it's high again. And they're like, well, how do you know? And I said, well, my kidneys are hurting. And they're like, that's not a side effect. But every time it happened, that's exactly what it was. It would be like 4.0. It happened like 3 or 4 times. But Coumadin fucked my teeth up. I mean, I've got all my teeth and have spent a fortune at dentists, but I think it caused my gums to recede some, because my teeth were so susceptible to like brushing, like bleeding, you know, because of the blood being thin. So it doesn't help that I dip, but yeah, that's only in one area. How do they treat what? Nada. Yeah, me too.
You're halfway to mission complete. Keep it up.
Oh, looks so wow, Rich. I have lower extremities. PAD, numerous surgeries. Stents, have major blockage in the right leg now. And they tried to unblock it and couldn't. I'm having bypass surgery soon. I hope it works out for you. Yeah, they always told me that, you know, after that clot, you know, there's not a whole lot that they can do surgery wise. Like I said, just because that thing was like I said, they would say they would consider it to be, you know, like I said, the consistency of leather. So. Like if they tried to cut it out, it would bring the actual vein out with it. Oh, that was just the medicine I was on. It would make your blood. The INR Pro Time is just a reading. Now, see, now they put a lot of people on. That's Coumadin is dirt cheap. And I've heard people say that it's like some of the same ingredients that's rat poison. But yeah, it's what it does is it thins the blood and it coagulates the blood. So I think the Pro Time is a reading of, you know, how your blood coagulates. And they want you to be between like 2.0 and 3.
Here we go.
You know, if it gets above 3, they get concerned just because, you know, you have a bleeding risk, whether it's internal or, you know, so some kind of, you know, if you got in a major car accident or something like that, it'd be much easier to bleed out because your blood doesn't coagulate as fast. So all they do if your INR gets high is you know, you take less medicine, you know, or you skip it for a day and then it comes down. Yeah, the game is the game gets silly sometimes. I've got it turned down actually. Let me but see, I venture off to the right for some reason when I play this, so I end up pulling away from the mic. I'll try to
30 seconds remain.
I'll fix that between this game. Oh, you're up there.
10 seconds remaining.
Got him.
Snipers down! Swapping mags!
Enemy cluster mine active. Mission failed. Return to base.
But yeah, that's how they treat it. You just take less medicine. For a little while and let it balance out. And again, that shouldn't be the kidney hurting thing. That shouldn't be a an indicator. Like they say, like your gums bleeding or like unexplained bruising, like stuff like that would be the signs. But like I said, for some whatever reason, my kidneys would hurt if it got up to a 4. But there's a new drug now. I think it's Eliquis, and that's what they use now, as opposed to Coumadin. A lot of people, you know, their gripe with Coumadin is that it's, you know, you have to get a lot of people have to get their blood checked every, you know, if it's not super stable, you might have to go every week, you know, into a clinic and they prick your finger and, you know, give you the reading. You're in and out in like 5 minutes. They have a Coumadin clinic. You just go in and out. But yeah, no, there's definitely something to the baby aspirin. I mean, it's just you know, it's ibuprofen, which does thin the blood. That's why I could never. I was saying I forgot what a good painkiller it actually is compared to Tylenol. Actually, when I'm in pain now, I take 1 500 milligram Tylenol and then 2 Advil, and that seems to do the trick. But yeah, you could never take ibuprofen on top of Coumadin because it thins the blood. And the other thing you have to do on that medicine is you can't eat a lot of green leafy vegetables. Vitamin K will also make it go up high. I could eat vegetables, but like on my dose of 7.5, like if I ate green leafy vegetables 3 times, a week or 4 times a week, as long as I stayed at 4 times a week, it would be normal. But if I ended up eating, green leafy shit every night, then it would go up. But yeah, there's something about a baby aspirin. They say to take that for
Capture and hold the objectives to
circulation,
win.
blood flow, heart health.
Enemy UAV overhead.
And I'm assuming that's still a thing. That's what's funny, if you try to follow like the news of like quote unquote what they say. This week it'll be good for you, next week it'll kill you type thing. You never really know what to listen to. So, but I've never heard anything bad about baby aspirin.
Switching back.
From way downtown.
And that's before my dad was on Coumadin. That's what he took a bit baby aspirin every day. Ooh, that was a good shot. Yeah, I think that's a lot better on volume, and it's not enough. Should sound better.
UAV on station.
Yeah, that's right, Natalie. You have to eat the same amount. It's all about consistency to keep that number the same relative to how much you take. But again, I'm glad I don't have to mess with it anymore.
Approaching from the rear.
A lot of people get like weird, bad side effects. But like I said, I was pretty lucky. And very lucky that,
Securing objective Alpha. We've lost half the field.
that it,
Losing Bravo.
since it was so stable, I didn't have to go get my blood checked all the damn time.
Control all objectives. Secure the perimeter. Objective Bravo is compromised. Get enemy securing Alpha.
But I've told people that that blood clot is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Because I used to have like debilitating.
Enemy UAV active.
I had debilitating anxiety, like towards health. I was in a movie theater with my dad watching a movie.
Cover deployed.
Like I was in college, and something happened. I felt like just disassociated from everything. Like my heart was racing, like I thought I was dying. And they took me to the ER, and the doctors, ran every test in the world, and they said, well,
We're taking Bravo.
you had a panic attack. And I spent the next several years of my
Objective Bravo
life
secure.
trying to figure out what disease I had that caused that. Like obsessively checking my blood pressure, like all that kind of stuff. And that blood clot was the first ever major medical event that I had in life. And after that I realized, like, shit like that's gonna happen. And if something comes up, and
We've secured
You
two
know,
objectives. We're
something like
taking
that comes up, you go to the doctor, you get it taken care of, and if it's your time to go, then the good Lord will take you.
Hold all objectives. Keep them
I don't know why, but for some reason, like after that
secure.
event,
Securing Charlie.
and seeing what happened, and we went and we handled the situation, made it better. It just all of a sudden, like I just
Our UAV is orbiting the area.
didn't have the anxiety anymore.
Enemy spotted.
We're losing Charlie. Securing objective
Like, and when
Bravo.
it wasn't every day, but it would get bad. Like, it was crippling. I know it was hard on my wife at the time. Oh, sweet,
Charlie is
grenade kill.
compromised. Get it back, Bravo.
Because, like, I would have to withdraw myself from everyone. And kind of, you know, be by myself and calm myself down and shit.
I'm
Yeah,
on
it
your
was-
enemy area.
And it went away just as fast as it came. Thank God.
Changing mags.
Friendly sentry online.
Got your back.
We've lost Alpha. Friendly UAV online.
Let's see. Yeah, they when you were going weekly to check for clots, what were they looking at? Your D-dimer? Your D-dimer? I know the D-dimer is an indication of potential clotting.
The enemy holds 2 objectives. Secure those positions.
Dropped one. Changing mags.
Securing
Yeah,
objective
panic attacks
Charlie.
are no joke.
Securing Alpha.
Like I said, that was my problem, though. I couldn't believe that something could grab a hold of you that hard. You know, I mean, there's plenty of people that think that they're having actual heart attacks, you know, and manifesting symptoms. Come on, I know you're there. I figured that would kill me. Oh, Kumanin levels, yeah. Okay.
Semtex out. I got your back.
Yeah, like I said, it was, for me, a lot of people at the clinic.
2 objectives secure.
Oh, it was weird, you know, I'm like in my 20s, and everybody there was
enemy took
old,
Alpha.
old.
On your 6.
Although they would put people,
Taking Charlie.
Target down.
people would be on it that
Holy
had AFib. So there were some younger people that I would see there occasionally. Yep, same way, Natalie, between 2 and 3. And
Taking Charlie.
like I said, I was just blessed because I'd be a 2.5 on the dot like every freaking time. And
UAV in the area.
you may not have been in here, but it got to the point where they would only check me like every 30, 60 days.
Getting hit hard. We've lost all objectives. We have to
Where
turn
most people,
enemy
you know, have to
UAV
go
overhead.
every week. And I hate, I don't know why, but I hate pricking my finger.
Securing Charlie. Moving here.
Like, I'd rather give blood out of my arm, like, than to have my finger pricked.
Mission failed. Return to base.
I get the panic attacks at crazy times. One time after 9/11, the building I worked in, 34 stories, I worked on the 33rd as well. Yeah. I said it before on another stream that I was doing, but this guy, I don't go to my parents' church anymore, but it's a huge, like, mega church. But they had this guy come in that was in the first tower. And like after he shares his experience and testimony, and but he was like above like floor 100. He was very high in the first tower, and he managed to make it out. But he tells his whole story, and I mean, it's wild. And I mean, that he went on, like, that's what he does now as a career. He's like, he goes around as a speaker and shares the word and, you know, his experience. Holy shit, 9? I've never even heard of anything that high. I remember my dad got to like 7 once. Oh yeah, elevator. When my anxiety was high, elevators, they always fucked with my equilibrium. Like, I'm horrible with treadmills. Like, you know, after you get off the treadmill, you still feel like you're on it. But I've done a lot of like ocean fishing in my life, like deep sea fishing.
Team
You
deathmatch.
know, and I don't get seasick or anything like that, but once an elevator gets to the top and you take the first step off, like I get wonky sometimes. Yeah, it's scary. But the worst part of the anxiety for me was the disassociation. Like,
Contact!
you know, and if you don't know what that, like, the term is, you basically feel like you're outside of your own body. Like, it kind of messes with your ears too. Like, I don't know, your hearing is a little bit like altered, or but yeah, it's a scary feeling for sure. Shit. Claustrophobic bridges. Yeah, I don't like tight spaces. I don't mind bridges. I don't mind bridges. I feel kind of. I've been to what beach is it? Virginia Beach. There's the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel. There's like a big ass bridge, and then it goes into a tunnel where you're under the water.
Enemy UAV active.
And it's for a good stretch, you know, like a couple miles. And that was always kind of creepy if you went to Virginia Beach or in New York City. You know, like the Lincoln Tunnel. You know, just knowing you're underground like that.
I'm getting
But
torched right now, man.
you had an aneurysm and almost died like a year and a half ago. Had like 5 clots. Shit was nuts. That is nuts. That's crazy. And that's what, you know, I got to talking about clots because I don't know if I ever finished the thought, but that's what a lot of people are coming up with from this C jab. Like, it seems like there's tons of people are getting clots. And
UAV overhead.
like my pastor ended up getting the other one that people, the inflammation around the heart. What's that called? Shit. Carditis. Endocarditis, maybe. That's another big thing with the C jab.
With you, mate.
Enemy is close.
So,
Enemy UAV active.
definitely some crazy stuff. Alright, I am sick of this dude just laying down
One
back
shot.
there.
I need to heal.
This dude is just laying out back there. Finally. Good lord.
Swapping mags.
Pericarditis, yeah. I was the same way with panic attacks. Like, I'd have to focus on something else.
Holy frick, that was changing mags.
The enemy's gaining ground. Push them back. UAV ready to deploy.
Low-key, I am lucky to be alive.
Alright, where are y'all at?
Recon overhead.
Oh, y'all are still back there, huh?
Online.
Holy crap, they're all back there. Here he comes. Oh, he's coming around.
UAV is bingo fuel. RTV at this time.
Here he comes. Shoot, I knew he was coming too. Dang it. I think it's, I could be wrong. I think it was endocarditis. Oh, crap. Ooh, I almost killed myself. I accidentally pulled the grenade out. And once you pull it out, you can't put it back. Actually, the talking to me during panic attacks, it didn't help. I had to get away from people. Like, I had to separate myself from people completely. And kind of
I am with you.
just let it work itself out. And they're so wild. I mean, to people that have never had them, like, you know, like when people would talk to me about it, and they're, you know, like, it's just in your mind. It's just in your mind.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Like, I remember my mother, like, she just couldn't understand. You know, she was just like, I don't understand how this is, you know, can be so debilitating. And I was like, it just is. I don't know how to explain it. And after my father died, my mother, it took about a year, but she pretty much had a full-blown, what do you call it? Shit, what do they call it when you have like a complete breakdown? Like, I thought I was gonna lose my mom. She was really bad. Like, after Dad died, they had like a massive house that they lived in, and you know, Mom, we worked on it forever to sell, you know, a lot of the stuff she wasn't gonna keep, and you know, so after Dad died, she was super busy, and you know, there was always something that needed to get accomplished that kept her mind busy. And then we got her moved into like her new house, and you know, once all the stuff that needed to get done to the new house got done, then you find her mind idle. You know, there's no more goal of, yeah, nervous breakdown, exactly. And man, when that happened, she went south. My mother's one of the most godly women I've ever met, and at the time, her mother was still alive, and she called me to come over to the house, and she said, "Hey, I don't know what to do with your mom. You need to come. It's bad." And I had taken her to the hospital the night before, and I went in, and my mother looked at me straight in the face. I asked her if she wanted to go to the hospital, and she said, "No, it's too late." And she said, "I'm already dead." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, Mom?" And she said, "Satan has me." And when I heard that, I knew something was bad wrong. And took her to the hospital. She ended up in, I guess, for lack of better words, a nut house for about almost 90 days. And at one point, she went completely catatonic. My sister went to visit her, and my sister was like 8 months pregnant. And she had concocted this idea that that the nurses and doctors there weren't real, that, you know, they were patients that had killed all the nurses and doctors. And she could hear where they had captured my sister and were keeping her so they could steal her baby when she had it.
Sable 1. Lock down the objectives and
And
keep them secure.
You know, she said she kept, you know, she would say she kept hearing my sister in the other room. So she had that episode. She went catatonic. She refused to eat at one point. It was really, really bad. And since then, she's been checked in 2 other times.
The enemy took Bravo.
And they did a bunch of that electroshock therapy. And it seemed to work. And she's on all kinds of meds, but she's been better. The last, you know, my mom was the life of the party, you know, everywhere. You know, she's just is. That's who she is. And she does silly shit. But like the medicine she's on has really taken her personality. But they pulled her the last couple weeks. It's been a while now, but like 2 months ago, my girlfriend, after I split up, we've been together for like 7 years. We took a little break and we just recently got back together again a couple months back. And she was coming to town and she was going to visit with my mom. And I told her, I'm like, it's sad. Like, you know, just be prepared. And then all of a sudden, like, she's like almost like her old self again. They took her off of lithium. And it's like, it's crazy. So, of course, when she came down for a couple days, you know, she was the best she had been in, you know, 2 years. But she hadn't had to be checked in quite a while. Like, we know the signs to look for. And, you know, we keep up with it. Yeah, it is. It's kind of sad, but she's back now. Like I said, my dad took care of everything.
Securing Alpha.
You know, my mom was a really good cook, but I mean, my dad would like do laundry. He would, you know, iron. He would, you know,
Objective Alpha secure.
whatever. And my mom had, over the years, she had kind of rendered herself like helpless just because Dad did everything, you know. So she got to the point where she didn't think she could do things, but she can. She's just so used to, you know, somebody doing it for her.
Got your back.
So her therapist, that's the biggest thing they're working on, you know, trying to get more independence back into her. Because I lived with her for a little while after Dad died. And after the breakdown, she wanted me to kind of come back and live with her for a little while. And the doctors were, you know, no, don't do it. You know, she needs to work on gaining more, you know, independence and be okay living on her own.
Enemy securing Alpha.
Got your back.
So, but yeah, she's back, and she's doing well. She's like 75, and very, very pretty lady. I mean, she could probably pass for 60. Always taking very good care of herself. But what's funny is she's dating this guy Earl from her Sunday school class, and but she has no interest like in being romantically involved with anybody. You know, they just go out to eat and shit. And
Securing Charlie.
my girl got more out of her than because actually she hasn't even told me about him.
Enemy securing Bravo.
Which I was surprised that when I called her tonight to see if she had if she found the Tennessee game on TV. I heard somebody in the background. I'm like, who's that? And she's like, it's Earl. But she hadn't told me about Earl yet. I was just like, oh, okay.
Enemies taking Bravo. High alert.
But they were saying, like, Mom was telling my girl that, like, you know, when it came time for Earl to leave, like, my mom would walk clear to the other side of the room. Like, so he didn't try to kiss her or something. And she'd be like, okay, bye. But I guess they're having fun.
Objective Bravo secure.
The guy's a super nice guy. I actually grew up in church with his son. And his wife was in great shape too. She just had an aneurysm one day and it killed her instantly. Shit. Yeah, definitely know about Chihuahua. She is, that's the last thing on
We
her
control
mind.
2 objectives.
But I think it's good for her to, I mean, she's got a bunch of girlfriends and, you know, her friends are freaking awesome. You know, like, you know, helping her through all that shit.
Enemy
They were
taking
there for
Bravo.
her completely. So,
Enemy securing Bravo.
but she's gone through like some weird phases through this whole thing. Like she went manic one time and was like on this like shopping spree.
Enemy securing Charlie.
She called me and told me that,
Bravo.
you know, she wanted me to move close to her when a house I was buying ended up getting yanked like right before I was supposed to close on it. So she told me, she's like, I'm gonna buy you the house next to mine, and you know, and it's, first of all, it's not even for sale, but
The enemy has captured 2 objectives.
Swapping mags!
but it was just
Friendly
funny.
UAV on station.
But when they checked her in that time,
Need medical.
she had COVID. So she was staying in a hospital, regular hospital
Right now,
room,
man!
till she could test negative for COVID. And so since she was in a normal hospital room, she had a phone, and she was calling my sister like and me and just driving us freaking crazy.
Grenade!
Like she, I knew he was coming. Like she does not shop like QVC or any of that stuff, and she was calling us to like buy bags and like weird shit that was on QVC, and we would just act like we did it, you know. We're like, all right, Mom, we got it. Let's see.
Friendly cluster mine set.
Yeah, I get
Enemy
it. I
taking
know. This
Charlie.
Lex is a hate aneurysm. My friend died from one 8 years ago. She's only 30, but the doctor said she went really fast, like 30 seconds. Couldn't get up. Next thing you know, fell out. Yeah, they're crazy.
Contact!
The guy I went to high school with had a brain aneurysm in the shower,
We're
and
getting hit hard.
it basically he had a lot of you know, he was completely normal prior, and after that he had a lot of you know, cognitive, you know, he was basically special ed after that, like a lot of
Bravo
cognitive
secure.
issues.
Mission failed. Return to base.
I know the but yeah, nearly killed him. And I mean, that happened to him when he was like 14, something like that. But yeah, I had that weird blood thing, and then my son, that was probably one of the scariest days of my life. My son kept getting nosebleeds, and one night, my wife and I, we could not stop it, and he was like 2 years old, and we took him in, and then we started seeing what's called petechiae, which look like little bruises on the skin, and he was getting bruises, and he ended up, you know, we were sitting there and talking to the pediatrician, and he's like, look, you know, this is one of two things. He said, your son either has leukemia or he has ITP. And ITP is where I believe it's your spleen, is actually removing the healthy blood platelets. The difference with leukemia is, with leukemia, your bone marrow stops producing the platelets. But the ITP is just where you're still making them, but the spleen is actually filtering them out. And luckily, it ended up being the ITP. But it was some scary times. And he was so small. And he was on steroids for like months, and he turned into this little fatty butterball because of all the damn steroids. I remember we went to the beach like shortly. Well, hell, our beach trip that year got cut short by like 2 days when he was in the hospital, and I remember him like he was eating like multiple pounds of sausage every day. The kid was so hungry. And I mean, he blew up like a turkey.
We've secured the lead.
I love going back and looking at those pictures. I mean, it's haunting, you know, but like it's funny to see that.
The enemy has the lead.
Somebody's gonna be up in that window or come out that door. Or around the side. There he is.
Changing mag.
Make a run for it. Fart. Yeah, the human body is crazy. Yeah, at 2 years old, it was.
Tell them I sent you.
Changing mag.
Blood for blood.
Fast hands online.
Sweet contact.
But yeah, my son, I don't think he'd gain weight now if he had to.
Reloading.
He's 16. He's almost 6 foot. He's pretty thin, but he races mountain bikes cross country, so
Pushing here.
he gets tons of exercise. But luckily, my kids, I think they got more of their mother's genetics. My ex is like 5'8", 5'9". She's probably never, other than when she was pregnant, she's probably never weighed over like 110 pounds. I could take her and throw her around. Tiny thing. I thought that's what I liked until I found thick girls. Woo! That's what I love.
Body.
On your six.
You can keep the skinny ones. Damn it. Yeah, it is. We are incredible creations. If you think about the intricacy of the human body, I don't know how anybody can look at that and not believe that there's a God.
Hostiles launched a mortar strike. Find cover. Hostile care package in this sector.
Enemy down.
You know I got your back.
On your 6. Yeah, whatever.
My girlfriend would probably kill me if she heard me say it. I love thick girls.
The mission is half complete. Finish it.
Switching mag.
gunner
Oh, that's our
target.
chopper gunner. Perfect.
Target down.
Old chopper gunner doing work.
High alert.
Stay down. Changing mag.
Ah, poop. But yeah, it is crazy to see the amount, like I said, with that jab. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence either. I mean,
Reloading.
Friendly vehicle entering this sector.
Making effective fire. Changing mag.
well, I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden these people are just popping up with like blood clot type issues.
Snipers down. Moving here.
Friendly cruise missile inbound.
Enemy mark.
Anything popping tomorrow night, Rich? It's a little after 5 here. Got to get to bed. I don't think so. Rusty said he's gonna go do one Monday or Tuesday. You never know with me. If something comes up and I think it's decent enough to talk about, you know, I'm liable to do something spur of the moment anytime. But yeah, who knows? I'm gonna get off here after this match. Gonna get off of here after this match.
Friendly cruise
Actually,
missile
hang on, guys.
approaching
Yeah.
target. We're gaining ground. Don't stop. Friendly VTOL inbound. Friendly UAV online. Victory secure. Good fighting.
That's random. Sorry, chat. A buddy of mine just stopped by to grab a hat that he left. I'll probably play one more. Night, Natalie. Thanks for stopping by. Talk Bible prophecy. Yeah, I don't know if you heard the other night, but you know, I thought that class I took in college to study the Old Testament, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I got this. It's gonna be easy. It's the only C I made ever in college. Almost a D, and at one point I was failing. It was crazy. It was very hard. But like I said, I've been beat over the head with the Bible since I could walk. Yeah, the thing that I struggle with, like when I start thinking about death, and you know, I think about the words. You know, you think about the end of John 3:16, and you think about everlasting life. to me that just the idea is so. It's like I have too many questions, like, you know, with quote unquote heaven and how we exist in heaven and what version of ourselves, you know. So many religions. Who's right? Who's wrong? You know.
Right, mates, it's on.
I just ask stupid questions, but it's just hard for me to imagine something that's everlasting, infinite, that doesn't end. The whole concept's just hard to grasp. I can't really think about it, actually. I start getting like super deep with it. The red heifer born. I don't know what that is. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was forced to do so much church, like when I was younger. And then, like, my punishments would be like, okay, now you've got to join the youth choir because you screwed this up. But what sucks is when I got divorced, the church that we went to as a couple was, man, it was awesome. I loved that pastor. It's the best pastor I've ever had. You know, it was a guy that, like, you know, he was that guy that, I mean, it wasn't brimstone and fire, and he didn't talk down, but everybody that's there, you know, there would be something that you could relate to every sermon, and where you felt like that, you know, he was talking to you or God was speaking through him directly to you. And just a super great guy, younger at the time, you know,
Fast hands activated.
to be a preacher. And I always enjoyed it, that church. And the other thing too, like, people have different thoughts about women being in ministry,
Changing mags!
but it changed my mind when I had daughters. Like, I think that women should be allowed in the ministry if they're called to do so.
Swapping mags!
So finding a church that was, you know, Baptist, you know, denomination-wise, and that, you know,
Changing mags!
so that church, you know, was Baptist church that accepted, you know, it definitely wasn't like a Southern Baptist Convention church like I grew up in, like a mega church in Nashville.
Holy frick!
But yeah, they allowed women as ministers, like we had a like the children's minister at the church was a female, and the director of like senior citizens, that pastor was a female. So there's that, and then that church also welcomed
Friendly recon online.
openly gay couples. I mean, obviously we know what the Bible says about,
Friendly UAV
you
on
know, gay
station.
people, but
In the area.
like, you know, they look at it as a sin just like anything else. So we accepted them, and they felt, you know, accepted and loved, and, you know. But anyway, the thing is, that was my ex's parents' church, and they were highly involved in that church. And
Got movement.
you know, after the divorce, like, I don't know,
Enemy marked.
there was some, I mean, without getting too involved, it was kind of messy, the divorce, a little bit, but I didn't want to make my ex-in-laws, I didn't want to make them uncomfortable at church. You know, that's the last place you should feel that way. And I had no problem with it myself. But, and after the divorce, my wife has been out of church and she's never gone back. But she lets my kids go
High alert activated.
with her parents, and they still go and are active.
Enemies deployed
And
We hold the advantage.
but yeah, I just did that out of respect for them. So. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Ruth, Esther, Mary. You know, people interpret things different ways. You know, they talk about, you know, the male should be, you know, the head of the household, and, you know, women should be subservient to men. You know, so a lot of, I mean, I know that the Southern Baptist Convention, I know that that's a big deal. Like I said, my parents went to like a mega church, and
Changing mags.
the Southern Baptist, and like when we got married in the church that we attended. But my the pastor, they wanted to use pastors that, like the pastor of the church I went to and she went to, and one of the pastors at the time that, you know, my wife that was going to attend the wedding was a female, and you know, my parents' pastor that was from the mega church,
Bro, I need medic.
Active.
you know, when he got there and saw that the other minister was a female, like, he almost left. Like, he almost didn't, you know, do his part in the ceremony, because, you know, that's how, you know, that's just his beliefs or whatever. And he was like, you know, kind of famous, you know, like on TV. They had like a big TV ministry, and, you know, and then what, a year later, come to find out he had been having an affair for like 25 years with another lady, which got him into retirement. So, I mean, we all sin, right? But yeah, he was not happy.
Incoming. Tossing a decoy. Enemy visual.
Not happy at all about that. Yeah, I grew up, like I said, Southern Baptist, and I think it was more so just because of location, you know, in Nashville, Tennessee.
With you, mate.
I went to a church called Two Rivers Baptist.
Frag out.
UAV ready for tasking.
Oh, sweet. I got a nade kill there.
I'm getting torched right now. Changing mags. Need recon overhead.
Copy. UAV is on station. Recon
Right
online.
there. Oh, shit. I should have had that. I knew he was there. Exactly. All fall short in the glory of God. But yeah, that's what I found so cool about that church in particular was.
Fucking mags.
Stop grenade out.
And what's bizarre is, like when we first started going to that church, like I was super concerned about the longevity of it, because it was a very old congregation, like extremely old. Like, you know, who's going to be here in 2 years? Like, all the people are going to be dead. I mean, that's how bad it was. And then the church ended up growing huge, you know, with the new preacher, younger preacher. I say younger, he probably came there in his early 40s. Super nice guy, and his wife was actually worked or but she was a chaplain at one of the local hospitals. Are you able to fly any of those choppers? Yes. You don't fly them directly. And the way you get them is on like with kill streaks. So you have to, like, I don't know if you've seen like where I turn on, I hit that thing and it shows the players on the map in red, like red dots. It's like a UAV. Like after you kill 4 people in a row without dying, you get that. And then you saw earlier, I don't know if you saw it or missed it, but I ended up launching a missile from a tablet. That's like after 6 kills without dying. And then the chopper gunner is like, that's like, I think it's 10 to 12 kills. Like there's different versions. Like here, let's see. Where is it at? Yeah, in the campaign, yeah, you definitely, you fly them and then you shoot out of the back of them. And there was one part in this campaign where you're hanging from a chopper by a rope upside down. And you actually have to shoot a pistol upside down. Like your foot is hanging by a rope from the chopper. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Kill streaks. Alright, so mine are, after 4 kills you get the UAV that shows where people are at. At 6 you get the cruise missile. And mine is at 8 you get a VTOL jet, which makes a pass with some bombs and then sits up there for, like 30 seconds and shoots. But the players can shoot them down. But you could, for 8 kills, you can get that, an Overwatch helicopter, this little Wilson that goes around shooting people. At 10 kills, you can get a stealth bomber, chopper gunner, or an emergency airdrop that gives you stuff. And then the craziest shit is the gunship at 12, where you just go in and just start firing, raising hell. At 12, an advanced UAV. And the difference in that, like, they just with an advanced UAV, instead of them just showing up as dots, they actually stay lit up and it shows their direction. Like if they're moving, it shows them moving on the map, and it's for a longer period of time. I see people who I'm just not search and destroy. Well, actually, what I've been playing is I've been playing Team Deathmatch, Domination, where you have to capture the flags. I'm not playing Search and Destroy tonight. Search and Destroy is where you have sides and you only die once per round. And the objective is either to disarm a bomb or to plant a bomb and have it go off. But there's all kinds of different modes that you can play. Different games. And then there's Ground War, which is like a huge map to where there's like 50 people on each side. Or 100. And then these are fun too. You can do co-ops, where it's more like the campaign missions that you do with another person. They're fun. And then the regular game. And then of course there's Warzone, which, like, you have to, when you buy the game, like, you have to oh shit, man, this shit's crazy. I'm gonna play that. But Warzone is a version of the game, and it's free for everybody. So like I paid $60 or whatever for this game. But Warzone is like 100 players, or about 100 players, and you drop out of drop out of a plane and parachute down to like into a huge map, and the map shrinks as the clock goes down, and you know, the last person or team to survive wins. But those games can take like 45 minutes. Like, where is Warzone ranked play? Why is Warzone not? Multiplayer ground war raid. I don't know why Warzone's not popping up. Or Warzone there. Yeah, so these are all the different Warzone versions. Which Warzone's very fun to play with people. I'm a spectator hung up on controller after Halo and the Tom Clancy game. Yeah, I could not get, I wouldn't be able to get like 2 kills in a game with the controller. I'm horrible with controller. Mouse and keyboard. Like, I play this on a PC, not a console. Where did that shit go? There was shipment. I thought there was a hardcore shipment that I saw. Oh, that's Modern Warfare 3. Come on, where would it go? There was just an HC shipment on here. Multiplayer shipment 24/7. There it is, hardcore shipment. This is just a map that's like the map is called Shipment. It's been around for, actually I'm gonna stop before. It's been around for years. It's a very small, like, tight quarters map. And this mode is just, you know, just Shipment. No other map. But yeah, I'll play it once. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to go use the boys' room real quick. Oh, man. Well, Nada, I got groceries today, and very sadly left my standard 2 to 3 cases of Liquid Death on the shelf. It was a very, very sad day. Oh, so you know who Tim the Tatman is? That's cool. Yeah, I love old Timmy. I've watched him for years. No, don't apologize. I don't want to support that. I just wish you would. You don't apologize. I just wish you wouldn't have told me till maybe I was done with this fast I'm doing. I don't know how long I'm going to do it. Just because that carbonation in the water kind of keeps you full if you're up late. Yeah, I know. I've got one. I've got a SodaStream. But there's just something about, like I said, I don't know if it's the temperature that the water gets to in the fridge in that aluminum can and the level of carbonation, like it's just right. I'll find something else though that I like. Gina G, hello, good morning. It is almost 6 a.m. Yeah, so this is that map, Nada, that's real tight spaces and it gets crazy. That's as far as it goes, that rail, and then it's just a square.
All Saber, you've got the nod. Weapons, the lead is ours.
This is my favorite spot right here. See, obviously, you die a lot in this one.
Enemy contact!
Dude, why are you trying to shoot me?
Friendly UAV online.
Ooh, here they come. Oh. See, my own teammate killed me there because he was flashed. And you can't see. You can't tell. Oh, man, I got 3. Tim the Tatman just said get shit on. I love it.
Standing by.
See, like right there, I got 4 in a row without dying. Now I'm calling it the UAV. Look at the top left. The red dots are the enemies. But see, if I would have... That's 2 more kills that I got after. Well, 3 now. If I hadn't died, you know, I'd have a missile.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Advised, UAV is exiting the AO.
Shoot. Yeah, flashbangs will jack you up. That's what I throw is a flashbang, and then you get every round, or you know, every life you get. I've got it set up. You get 1 flashbang and then 1 regular grenade.
Friendly UAV
4.5. No, it's not on Rumble.
UAV active.
It got taken down, you know, because it got copyright struck on it. I don't know if Rusty was reported or not. But he was actually we had set that. I was talking to Mike before he went live, and Rusty put the video up that he was reviewing, like on his Savage channel. Actually, there's only 2 of you in here, so I'll post. Yeah, it was cool. I was making jokes to Mike about them being at rehab, and I said it again, like, you know, after we've been, texting for a little while, and they hadn't heard that, so Mike went and got Ryan. I talked to him and Ryan, speaker. But yeah, they were totally. Johnny was like, yeah, they're at rehab, or I guess Patty found out that he was, that he was out of town or something, and she just said, yeah, he's at rehab. But they all went on vacation, like Father Son, Theodore, Mike, a couple other people. This cabin they got was freaking crazy. What's funny is them talking about, like, thinking they have all this info on 12 point. Mike, I thought I was gonna lose all my viewers tonight because Mike texted me and he said that Father Son wanted to go live, and he was just saying, hey, don't want to step on your toes, but they want to go live. Can't do it for a while. So I thought they were gonna. They didn't end up going live. So at one point, the users, like, there was over 100 people tonight, pretty much the whole time. But at one point, it dipped down to like 80 for like, I don't know, like 15 seconds. I don't know if YouTube was messed up, but I was like, okay, there they went live. And I don't blame anybody. If Mike goes live, I want to see it.
We've got him on the run. Keep it up.
But we always, when we schedule live, we always look and check with one another. That nobody else, that we're not going to step on any toes. Like, there's been several times where Rusty and I'll go. We end up going live later, so Mike can finish up, or vice versa. But the 12 point's the GOAT. And in real life, he's a super nice guy. Very humble. Yeah, Gina, he does run. That's what's so fun, like, kind of being behind the scenes with some of this stuff, and, seeing stuff that gets put out there for Johnny to pick up and run with it. It's funny because, and Mike is a master at it. An absolute master at planting that thing. No, Mike was telling me, he texted me in the middle of the live, like an hour in. And he said, hey, I'm probably going to go live with Father Son because they wanted to. And since they didn't do theirs like the other night, I don't know if they went live or not. I don't know if it was on their channel or Mike's. I don't know if they ended up doing it. I need to tell him. I hate text because the context in text messaging can look shitty sometimes. I hope he didn't take it the wrong way. I was like, when I read it again, it kind of looked like I was short with him. Like, yeah, go whenever. But yeah, I certainly wasn't upset about it. But yeah, we definitely try to schedule it to where we're not stepping on each other, for sure. And I mean, we always try to give priority to Mike just because, you know, he's the biggest one.
Domination. Capture and hold the securing Alpha. We are taking Charlie.
Like in my book, he doesn't need to check with us, you know.
Objective Bravo.
He's kind of the OG, and yeah, he's big enough.
We are losing Bravo.
But that's just that's the kind of guy he is. Yeah, he's just.
Securing Charlie. Enemy is taking Bravo. Charlie secure.
But we both, a lot of us do a lot of stuff to help each other.
Objective Bravo is compromised. Take it back. Our UAV is orbiting the area.
I cannot wait to. There's a skit that Mike and I are gonna do sometime in the near future, and I think it's gonna be absolutely hilarious. It's funny because I came up with a concept and texted it to Mike, and he was like, he said, "That's hilarious." He was like, "That's exactly what I was thinking about." It was basically, he told me his version of it, but they were both pretty much the same thing.
Secure Bravo. Friendly UAV on station. Hands activated.
Did I get a kill there? Yeah, we did. We both killed each other. Oh, flashed. See how that name? Like, I killed that guy, but that could have just as easily been, you know, my teammate, because you can't see if they're red or blue. It takes it away from the flash.
Hostile UAV overhead. Enemy is securing
This shit gets
Charlie.
crazy.
Friendly UAV online.
But yeah, I love how Mike, like, a lot of people don't, like,
Securing objective Bravo.
his comedy is intelligent. And I love that some people don't get it.
Our UAV is
You know what I
orbiting
mean?
the area. Secure Bravo.
And I mean, just to watch Johnny and how Mike just plays him. Just has him wrapped around his finger.
Hey, watch where you're firing that
We are taking Bravo.
I mean, but the best is like the stuff that, like you heard us talking about, you know, donating early and often to Mike for his lawsuit shit for weeks. And it only took about a week or so
We are losing Charlie.
for Johnny to latch onto it and start talking about it. And then he did that thing where he was clapping so excited that somebody was doing the thing.
We are taking Alpha.
And he made a complete fool of himself.
Securing Charlie.
Yeah, that's obvious, Gina.
Objective Bravo.
But I mean,
We have lost
every
all
single
objectives.
time he
Failure
takes the bait.
securing Objective Alpha. Hostile UAV active.
Changing mag. I'm with you. Check, fire.
It was funny to see him begging PBR for Mike's information,
Secure Bravo.
just because he wants to dox him so bad.
Securing objective Charlie.
And PBR doesn't have it.
We are taking Alpha.
He claimed to have it a long time ago.
Securing Charlie.
And you know, supposedly one of Mike's ex-wives, you know, confided in PBR about he was a woman abuser. You know, he just made that up. But there is a guy on YouTube named Chris something or other, and he does have somewhat of a similar appearance to 12 Point, and their voices are eerily the same, and that's what, you know, Mike didn't show his face as much back in the day, and, you know, PBR just knew that, you know, that was Mike. And obviously it's not. But yeah, he has told people his real name. And actually, Johnny was using his real name like 2 weeks ago.
Hostile UAV active. Objective secured. Enemy is taking Alpha.
I like it. He isn't vulgar, even he fake desires for Merle.
Enemy is securing Bravo. Securing Charlie.
Yeah, I like
UAV online.
I like the comedy where you don't have to tell the full story, right? Like you have to kind of finish it yourself.
Objective Bravo.
He's a master at that. I don't know if you caught it, the last live that it was just Mike and I on my channel. But Mike was talking about doing stand-up and completely blowing it. That was funny. Like that night, like to give you an idea of like how, like just the way that Mike works. Like that night, we'd been talking like just a few minutes before we went live, and then when we went live, I noticed that Mike in StreamYard had changed his name to Rusty Truck, and everybody in the chat was, you know, saying hi to Rusty. You know, they had seen it momentarily, like before I put the song up, like in between the 30-second countdown and end of the song. And like I didn't know he was going to do that. And that whole bit that he did about, you know, his son not making enough videos and being hard on Power Stroke. Like all of that was completely off the rip. Like I didn't even know he was going to do it.
Target down.
Mikey, he likes to keep people.
Securing Charlie. Enemy is securing Alpha.
And what's funny is like we, you know, there's a lot of us will talk on the phone, and you know, we know, all of us know like our real names, but we still call each other like Rich, Rusty, Mike, Power Stroke. Ouch. I thought I was somewhere else.
We control two objectives.
Come on, clear. Nice.
SAE underway.
Missed me.
Friendly mortar strike underway. Enemy is securing
Little Creek needs to get a life. Yeah, he's just,
Enemy is taking Bravo.
he's such a narcissist. I mean, it's mental. I mean,
UAV standing by.
Requesting recon flyover.
Copy that. UAV is
Target
on
down.
Securing objective Charlie.
I mean, but the difference with that dude, like, it's just not fun with him.
Bravo.
I mean, we know everything about that dude.
Losing Alpha.
I mean, we really do.
We control all objectives.
And we know the
Maintain
truth.
perimeter.
And like I said, it doesn't matter. You could have that dude
Alpha.
on videotape holding his photo ID, you know, committing whatever the act was, and he would look at you dead in the face
Alpha.
and say that he didn't do it. And believe it. That's the kind of statement he.
Securing objective Alpha.
That's why it's just not fun. You know, he's gonna deny whatever it is.
Friendly VTOL on station.
You know, he has a history of doing this stuff too. That's what's so interesting. Like, he did it in other communities. Like, I found some stuff from Reddit that was archived, you know, of him like being the bully. He did it on that Vloggerheads website. It's actually pretty funny, but that's just kind of how he's always been. I found this video early this morning, and yeah, I sent it to Damianke, you know, his ex-wife, and it's a guy that's like, he's like easily in his 60s, and like, he turns the camera on, and he's sitting like in front of a weight bench. And the guy's actually in pretty good shape, like to be that age. I mean, he's got fat on him, but he's like a bodybuilder, you know. So he actually has like some pecs, and like his arms aren't big, or anything. But he's like he talks about being an alpha male, and he's like, I'm doing this one shirtless today for all the ladies. He's like, so feast yourself, ladies. Like, and he's like, 190 3 times. And he goes over to the flat bench and puts up 190 pounds 3 times. Gets done, does like a weird flex. And he was like, once again, shirtless today for the ladies. And I mean, it was just freaking hilarious. So I sent it to her this morning. I was like, does this remind you of anybody? And she got a kick out of it. Nah, he's not going to move on. As long as he has the few people that will, you know, support his cause, you know, he'll... But he's got to know. I mean, views are way down. This whole Seeper scandal gave him a shot in the arm because he jumped on it too. But yeah, he's not going anywhere. Like I said, you could post the most foul shit that he had done, you know, this and that, it doesn't matter. Like I said, you can't argue with somebody that knows they're right. Let's see. That's what I like about y'all as truthers. I also love Ryan Bride all is together, and I hated listening to Rusty read that crap from her tonight. Yeah, it's crazy. AD, I watched the start of his live, and it was, like I said, it was crazy. You know, to go in, and it's just nothing but hate and personal attacks. Nothing that's facts, you know, saying, hey, attacking women and this and that. It's just, whatever. Whatever. And I mean, he was super pissed at me tonight for some reason. But I always, you know, because AD's like a combat vet, he still kind of holds a, you know, a special place for me. You know, that's, I always give vets, you know, they deserve some respect. So I've never really like gone in on him too much. But yeah, and I purposefully don't. You know, that's kind of a gimmick that Rusty and I do, where he's like, when he was talking about leaving, you know, because I was saying, not horrible things about it.
Your task is to control the objectives. Securing objective Bravo.
I guess there's no
Securing
window there,
Alpha.
dummy.
Enemy is taking Charlie. We control Bravo. We have secured the lead. We are
There's
taking
always
Alpha.
somebody up on that roof.
We are taking Charlie.
I love this little building if I can hold it.
Objective Alpha secure.
Such a good place. Because you can monitor everybody out this
Taking
way.
Alpha.
Shoot. I like Seeper's always been super nice. I can't say the same about some of the rest of
Securing
them.
objective Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we'll see what Seeper does in his live today.
We have secured 2 objectives. All objectives
You know,
secure.
I do know enough
Expect
about
counterattack.
Seeper to know
Enemy
that
securing
he is
Charlie.
a successful
We are
person,
losing Alpha.
and the problem
Objective
is
Alpha
like
is compromised. Take it back.
they kind of caught him in a little bit of a lie, like saying he owns 3 clubs when he sold
Fast hands.
the 3rd one recently. And once they found out that he doesn't own 3 clubs and that one was sold, you know, you're gonna get
Our
labeled a
counter
liar.
UAV is active. We
You
hold all
know,
objectives.
once you're a liar, you know, you're always a liar. You don't have, you know, you got no integrity in a lot of people's minds after that. And that's not my view or stance on it.
Enemy is securing Alpha.
You know, I think the problem with that is, you
Enemy
know,
took Alpha.
Seeper's probably said a little bit too much, and now he's going to have to show some receipts. And, you know, I don't think he wants to have to do that. You know, he said a little bit too much, then it's going to kind of force him to have to do that when, you know, like I don't the last thing that I would ever talk about on here is business and salaries and money and
We control 2 objectives.
socioeconomic status, you know, things like that.
Securing Alpha.
Like I just don't, you know.
Friendly UAV on station.
You guys can just wonder if I'm broke or if I'm a multimillionaire or if I'm somewhere in the middle. You know, no big deal.
Enemy is securing Charlie.
But, you know, Seeper will probably have to give away, and he doesn't have to. I certainly am not saying that, but in order to recover from this hole that people have dug him in,
Securing
you
objective
know,
Alpha.
he's going to have to show some receipts and probably more than what he wants people to know publicly.
Target area marked. You're cleared up.
You know, and Rusty and I will get shit, you know, for being, you know, quote unquote anonymous, you know, without
Enemy has captured 2 objectives. Move to
without showing our faces and stuff. But you know, I mean everything that I say. You know, they say you can't trust somebody that doesn't show their face.
Loading.
But
taking Charlie.
I mean everything that I say. But yeah, I wouldn't.
We are taking Alpha.
The last thing I would want
We
is for
control
these.
Charlie.
If it was just me that I had to worry about, I wouldn't care. I'd show my face. You can look me up.
All objectives secure. Expect
Look up,
counterattacks.
you know,
Enemy is taking Alpha.
different shit, newspaper articles, fucking my non-criminal history that doesn't exist. And, you know, but the thing is, I've got kids, and I don't want these weirdos like freaking meddling around in my kids' lives.
High alert activated. You're halfway to mission complete. Keep fighting.
They have seen my face once, and then I showed that picture from.
We are losing Charlie.
But nobody from the professional world would know me that way, because
Enemy is taking Charlie.
when I sold my business, because I didn't have to wear a suit and tie every day, I just kind of, I didn't shave and cut my hair for like a year. My hair's never been longer than like 1/4 of an inch long. And I mean, it was down past my shoulders until a couple days ago when I shaved that massive beard that I had in my hair.
We are losing Bravo.
And now I wouldn't want to show my face because I would be easily recognizable.
We have secured 2 objectives. Shit, we have lost Bravo. Securing Charlie.
But I'm sure somebody will figure it out one day. Just have to see what happens. Like I said, I don't really care. I don't have anything to hide. But
Secure Bravo.
again, just wouldn't want people
What's
like
your
screwing with
Italian?
my
The
kids.
enemy holds 2 objectives. Get them secure. Bravo secure.
And especially like my girlfriend, because she's very in the professional world, she's very, very high profile. Yeah, I wouldn't want it to negatively impact her, and she's very much in the public eye.
We are taking Charlie.
Very, very, very hard-working woman.
2 objectives secure.
Changing mag.
I met her when I was still married, and we just always kind of hit it off. Not that way at first, because we were both married. But she was always married to her career. She never had any children of her own.
Securing Charlie.
Definitely way too good for me.
We hold all objectives. Keep them secure.
Watching your six.
But yeah, I would hate for that somehow. Again, just because of the business that she's in and what I used to be in, I would hate for.
Enemy is securing Charlie. UAV active.
I'd hate for that to somehow negatively impact her. And the company that she works for, that I get to work for, is very conservative.
Our UAV is orbiting the area.
Your kids will be grown. Yeah, I mean, when my kids are grown, I don't care. Like I said, my girlfriend's older than I am. She's 50, but
We've got them on the run. Keep it
she's
up.
gonna retire in 8 years.
Enemy is securing Alpha.
But yeah, we hit it off from the beginning, and then she ended up having thyroid cancer like shortly after I met her. I talked to her a lot during that.
Mission is complete. Good work.
I got divorced, and then she got divorced like a year later. And I was on a trip to Tennessee, I went to a training advanced fighting pistol class. And I was like just messing around with her. She had called me, and I was like, she was talking about like diamond rings. I was like, well, I'll buy you whatever one you want. It was kind of a joke. I mean, it was a joke. But then on the way home, like we ended up talking like for an 8-hour car ride. Next thing you know, it was on. But yeah, we took some time apart. I went through some shit like after I sold my business, and kind of had to find the direction I wanted to take myself, and we didn't speak at all, and we were like best friends. We didn't speak for almost a year. And she dated like 2 other guys like in that time frame, in that like year and a half time frame. And it didn't go well. And it's funny, she had her sister-in-law freaking text me. She's a realtor. And she had her sister-in-law text me like she was telling me about the closing that we had tomorrow. She was a realtor. And when I replied back, you know, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I sent it to the wrong," you know, like what my first, let's just say Rich. I sent it to the wrong Rich. And then she was like, "Oh, how are you, by the way?" But so it ended up like she had just turned 50, and like she wanted to either like, kind of see what was up, and she had put her up to it. She had put her sister-in-law up
Capture
to
and
it.
hold the object, securing Charlie.
And then their sister-in-law was like, "You really need to call her. Like, I think
Objective Charlie secure.
she would love to hear from you." And
Securing objective Bravo.
5 minutes later, she called me. For the last 8 months, it's been like things never changed.
We're losing
Oh yeah,
Bravo.
she makes me happy as hell. I mean, what's hard is like it's a long distance thing, so we're a couple hours apart.
We're taking Bravo.
But I'm not so much married
Objective Bravo secure.
to my location since I work from home
We're
basically,
taking the lead.
so I can go there as much as I want to or need to. And she still comes here a lot. And then, you know, my kids are older now, so, you know, shoot, all 3 of them will be in college, you know, here soon. And
Target
graduated. So, but yeah, she's about 6 years old. She turned 50
We've secured the objectives.
this year, and she's about 6 years older than I am.
Securing Charlie.
But
The enemy
yeah,
took
she's
Charlie.
very, like I said, very successful. And
We're
in the
taking
year
Charlie.
that we took apart,
Covering your 6.
she basically just threw herself even more at work,
Charlie.
and she's kind of crazy how well she's done.
Objectives online. Enemy securing Bravo.
Like almost unbelievable.
Enemies taking Bravo. The enemy took Bravo. Our UAV is orbiting the area.
And my kids are in love with her too. Always have been. After I got divorced, I dated two other people before her, and one of them lived with me for about a year. And my kids couldn't stand that one. I tried some younger girls, and that drove me crazy. Because my wife was always very much like, you
The
know,
enemy controls 2 objectives.
very smart,
Get
very,
after him.
you know, by the book, get shit done,
Target down.
you
I'm
know.
reloading.
And I don't mean it to sound mean, but this girl was just not as
Enemy
smart.
UAV overhead.
So I guess part of the appeal was
Enemy
like,
UAV active.
you know, you felt like you're needed more, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, it's just like you're more wise than that, and you're needed more because of that or whatever. But it was cute at first, and then it got really old really fast.
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
But yeah, like with my girlfriend, a lot of guys can't date her just because of, like I said, how successful she is. Like she certainly doesn't need anybody to support her. And most men are weird with like with salaries and shit. Like they wouldn't be able to stomach or tolerate their wife like making more money than them, much less a fucking shitload more money than them. Volume, did I get far away from the microphone again? I'm sorry. You're 4 years older than your husband? Yeah, what's weird is my, my girl's ex was quite a bit older than her. Like, she always dated older guys. But yeah, there's nothing.
Enemy UAV overhead.
There's nothing at all that I would change about her.
Hostile mortar strike near your position.
Well, I wish she had a better body image issue. She's absolutely beautiful.
Hostile care
I mean,
package
you know,
in the
gets
area.
compliments all the time. Probably the prettiest smile I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, she's just one of those girls that doesn't see that in the mirror.
The enemy's gaining ground.
Covering your
Pushing
six.
back. High alert.
So,
We control Bravo. Friendly UAV online. Hostile UAV in the area.
yeah, and I like Gina G just said, I don't know that we'll ever get married. I mean, it doesn't matter. That label doesn't matter to me. She actually took her stepdaughter from her first marriage. She just had a baby, and she took her to the
Two
beach
objectives secure.
for a week with her husband. And usually when she goes on like a trip, she always buys jewelry. And she tries to find like really unique, like handmade, stuff. And she found this beautiful like diamond and sapphire ring. And she always wears it on. Yeah, she'll buy rings and she wears them on her like wedding finger. Which is fine by me.
Reloading.
What's funny is this guy she dated for a month or two was like, I don't know, sounded like he was a little bit controlling, but he was trying to get her to like cook, and she does not cook at all. But it's funny to just hear her tell the stories. Like,
We're losing Bravo.
she's like, yeah, the people were trying to change me. I'm like, oh, shit, they should know better than that. Y'all got a 13-year-old? That's cool. Yeah, something that definitely does make feel emasculated.
Enemies taking Bravo.
But I've always, like I said, that's what I learned after my divorce, and my wife was
We've lost
always
Bravo.
very,
Still got it.
extremely smart. Very educated. I learned that I can't tolerate any sort of like ignorance when it comes to women. I don't need to be told what to do, but
We're taking
there's something
Bravo.
to be said for something. One of the two of you to take charge, and figure out the direction of things.
Bravo secure. We're losing Charlie.
Dropped one.
Enemies taking Charlie. Enemy securing Charlie.
But yeah, she works her freaking ass off, and
Objective Charlie is compromised. We're taking Alpha. Alpha
she's got
secure.
9. Well, she's got 8 people that work for her, and
We're
she
losing
just hired a
Bravo.
9th just to help free her up some.
Objective Bravo is compromised. Get it back. Securing Objective Charlie.
No, you just don't have a wrench in here yet.
We're losing Alpha.
Oh shoot! I grabbed his gun. Dang it!
Enemy contact.
The enemy holds 2 objectives. Secure those positions.
There is some mods in here. I modded
Securing objective Bravo.
815. People that have wrenches in the other channel. When they first came in, I had the YouTube chat up yesterday.
Our UAV is
But
enemy
Changing
UAV
backs.
active.
StreamYard does a good job with integrating, not StreamYard, but Streamlabs. They do a good job integrating
Enemies taking Alpha.
the chat into it, but it's not. You can't.
Objective Alpha is compromised. Get it friendly
You
mortar
can't
strike on the way.
change. You can't like do the YouTube stuff and moderate people. Okay, there. I just fixed it.
The enemy's advanced.
Yeah, Gina, this is Rich too. I would do it on the same channel, but it to put something as different and as extreme as gaming, it screws up your algorithm for sure.
Tossing a nade.
So that's why I'm doing it on the second channel. And just to have a backup, like if Johnny decided to
Compromised. We've been defeated.
strike, or you know anybody strikes while you're live, like you got another channel you can go to real quick. It was funny because 815 was in here early last night, and he was bitching like, "Why'd you take my wrench?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I didn't take your wrench." And he was like, "Dude, I don't have it." And I was like, "Well, do you know where you're at?" And he had just clicked the link in my community tab to come. And I'm like, "Dude, you're on my other channel." And I gave him, you know, he was like, "Nah, dude." He was like, "You're on crack." I'm like, "No." But yeah, the few people that were in here starting out were all mods, like on the other channel. I can't even remember who it was. I think T. Dameron and 815 and I can't remember. Oh, you saw that when it happened? The 815 thing? I thought it was funny. I let him type on for a little while to see if he would figure it out. So what am I drinking now? Regular bottled water. I've got a regular bottled water here, and then a Canada Dry Zero. Which I love. Ginger ale is like always my favorite soda. And I hate diet ginger ale. But the Zero is really good. But the Zero's hard to find. Like I used to be big time Diet Coke. But I don't drink any caffeine at all anymore. Unless I'm drinking like sugar-free Red Bull.
Objective Charlie secure. Securing objective Bravo.
But yeah, I consume an ungodly amount of liquids.
Enemy securing Bravo.
Grenade out! Throw a grenade!
Nice. It hit somebody close by. There, he's laying on the floor. Daggone it. Why didn't that stun grenade get him? Flashbang.
The enemy controls 2 objectives. Push. Secure Bravo.
It's back to me!
We are taking Bravo.
Daggone it. Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, I'll drink Diet Mountain Dew every now and then. That's actually pretty
Objective
good.
Bravo secure.
Remember I was talking about my mom earlier and like how she was like,
We are losing Bravo.
you know, took really good care of herself. She would she used to teach
Flash incoming!
some nutrition
Loading!
classes down in
Enemy
church.
trophy destroyed.
And I got on a kick where I was drinking, like at the end of high school, I was drinking regular Dr. Pepper. And she ended up getting a bowl out and a measuring cup. And she was like, you know, if you're drinking 6 of these a day, you know, it was pretty much
Enemy is taking Bravo.
6 of them was like a cereal bowl, like almost filled to the top of sugar.
We have the lead.
And I was like, holy crap.
The enemy took Bravo.
It just kind of put it in perspective. Ooh, that dude got naded. I know you're over there somewhere.
Visual on attack.
The enemy has captured 2 objectives. Move to secure. Friendly UAV online.
Switching mags. Attacking fire. Go.
Nice.
Our UAV is orbiting the area.
Still right behind that truck.
Grenade out.
That should be
You lose. Enemy spotted.
sitting right there.
Taking effective fire.
Oh, they're gonna damn it. Yeah, the salt. I mean, that's what's crazy, right? Because everything, you know, processed food, as far as, you know, keeping it in the fridge, you know, keeping stuff. The salt is what, you know, keeps that shit edible, basically. People have no idea how much sodium that they
Hostile UAV in the
ingest
sector.
on a daily
Flash
basis.
grenade. Throwing Semtex.
You know, people just assume like, hey, if I'm not using table salt and like adding it to stuff that they're not drinking, or you know, they're not eating salt, when in fact,
Drop.
you know, there's just so much salt into everything
your
that's
6.
like pre-prepared or frozen. That's the other thing too. I think a lot of this cancer comes from food, because like my grandmother's generation,
Reloading.
most of them ended up, you know, growing their own food. You know, stuff wasn't processed, and you know, they grew their own fruits and vegetables. You know, they had their own cow they would butcher. Man, I screwed that up.
Changing mag.
Nice, got him.
Requesting fire mission. Target locked.
See if I can bank shot a grenade.
Throw grenade.
Nice. Ah, how do you get hit, Marcus, with this dang grenade?
Grenade out.
But yeah, my grandmother that just died, that was 96, or no, she was 95. She fell and broke her hip, and that's ultimately what got her, but she was dead within the 45 days of breaking her hip. But she still drove in her little small town. She got her hair done once a week and went to the grocery store once a week.
Friendly Overwatch.
Still drove. Oh, independent, lived in her own house. The crazy part is she fell just outside the doctor's office from a doctor's appointment. But she smoked ever since she was like 13, 14 years old. And, you know, died basically from, you know, old age / breaking her hip. I used to remember, it used to piss my mom off so bad because, like, my mom would, she lived several hours away, like back where my parents were born, and
Loading.
it would piss her off because if she would be in town, she would go with my mom to the doctor,
Friendly VTOL entering
and,
this sector.
you know, my mom was always wanting the doctor to tell her to, like, quit smoking, and the doctor was always like, you know, what is she going to do? Like, if she enjoys it, what is it going to take? Like, give her an extra 2 days of life? You know, like, leave her alone. You know, let her smoke. You know? And she had gotten lazy about smoking in her later years. You know, but for the longest time, and it may be why she was never had an issue, lung cancer or, you know, any smoking lung related stuff, because for years she had somebody that rolled cigarettes for her. Like, she bought bulk tobacco, and she would roll it too, but then her last couple of years alive,
Enemy is taking Alpha.
she smoked like regular store-bought
UAV is
cigarettes.
orbiting the area. 2 objectives secure. Важно, counter UAV.
Was 29th, but that was for her to turn her response, I think.
We are losing Alpha.
Oh, the thing with Patty. Yeah, she had to turn her stuff in, her response. Yeah. Make her own bread, noodles,
Enemy is taking
canning.
Alpha.
Yeah, she did a lot of canning too. No, she didn't get double pneumonia.
Alpha is compromised. Take it back.
She ended up, somebody in the chat, I think they said that's exactly what happened to their grandmother. Broke the hip, and I think they got double pneumonia.
Hostile UAV in the sector.
But no, she ended up getting some sort of infection and taken back to the hospital. And then she made it out of the hospital for the second time back to the rehab
Hostile
facility.
counter UAV is active.
But it wasn't long after.
Hit hard.
Um,
Enemy holds 2 objectives. Get
she
ready
just,
to
her
attack.
heart started failing some. And she was kind of losing her faculties.
We are taking Bravo.
She was calling me, you know, like I was just next door to come help her with her bed.
Securing objective
And,
Bravo. We control Bravo.
but like 3 days before she died, like she still had all of her faculties about her.
Objective Charlie is compromised. Take it. Enemy is securing Bravo.
I'm kind of upset. I didn't get to go to her
Return to base.
funeral because at the time I had COVID, and obviously a lot of family and friends very old in age and didn't want to spread that. but she was one of 5 girls, and she was the next to oldest, and her older sister Catherine is 98, and she's still alive. And then the next oldest sister behind my grandmother died young. Well, young in relation to the rest of them. She died like in her late 60s, early 70s. And then the 2 youngest are also still alive. And in their like 80s. Did you get your ability to taste back? Kinda. I've had it 3 times. And yeah, certain things, yes, but my smell, I never fully got back. Never fully got my taste back. It gradually, I guess I'm gradually getting it back more and more. But my latest run with it was in May, so. It's, that's not where I want to go. But yeah, COVID is kind of, I was never really like sick with COVID. I remember the first time I got it, like, was the sickest, and I just had no energy. Like, I slept and slept and slept. I don't like this map. But yeah, it was never really that rough any of the times I got it. Maybe like headache and just pretty much no energy. That's it. Every time I got a test for COVID and tested positive, like I was already getting better, if that makes sense. You have your own antibodies? Yeah, definitely. My mom's had it like 3 or 4 times, and she's had all the vaxes. I just find it interesting that they talk about, you know, how we're due for like a big wave of COVID. Like they're predicting an outbreak. And you know it'll probably be around the election and shit. Yeah, what's the most bizarre symptom of mine with COVID that I used to love eating hot, spicy stuff. Like I would eat Cholula, like hot sauce with everything. And I can't even tolerate like mildly spicy stuff. It's something about my tongue. My tongue literally feels like it's on fire with just the slightest amount of spice. Like, I mean, stuff that's not even like really spicy. Like I like the steak that they have at Chipotle. I'll get like a steak bowl or like a quesadilla, and like their steak, it has a little bit of a spice to it, but if they overdo it a little bit, like it can be painful. And like I said, I could go eat hot wings, like, you know, not like Carolina Reaper, you know, none of the, like the crazy off the chart stuff, but you know, I could eat like, you know, hot. It was no problem. But now, forget it. I mean, everything is just, like I said, it just burns. It's weird.
Raptor 1, you are clear to engage all threats.
Grenade out!
That's the only thing I don't like about grenades. They make that dark smoke.
Taking effective fire! Grenade out!
Oh, somebody's there.
Watch your fire!
Oh man, they gotta be flashed. No, I got somebody else got
We've
it.
secured the lead.
Yeah, you think they're gonna try to do it too?
Lost the lead.
Oh, I mean, they would love to shut the government down again. Or, you know, shut everything down. Especially during the election, are you kidding me? I know you're up there, asshole. It'll be interesting, though, to see how the public responds this time. You know, because now we know what it is, and there's definitely less scared people running around, you know. Definitely less scaredy cats out there. So, dang it.
Friendly cruise missile deployed.
Gina probably got a little bit of
Last
sleep,
hand
right?
activated. We have the lead.
Like at this point at 7 o'clock in the morning. This will probably be my last one, and I'll lay down until maybe like 10.
The enemy has the lead.
But I'll be good the rest of the day. Just a couple hour nap. But like I wouldn't be able to pull this again tomorrow night. Because I've done this 2 nights in a row. But like, I got off here probably at 6 a.m. last night, and then went to bed at like 7, slept till like 9:45.
Hostile precision airstrike. Get to cover.
With me, the more I sleep, the tireder I am. Yeah, you never know. Civil War. That's what they're pushing.
Got your 6.
There's so many people that you said you fell asleep at the end of the live. Rusty gets it a lot too, but there's a bunch of people that DM us saying that like both of our voices will end up like putting people to sleep, which is funny because that's what my girlfriend, I'll be talking to her on the phone. She'll be gone. Finally got him.
Hostile UAV
What's super cute is like when she's been asleep for like a couple minutes already, and then like she'll come to and then pretend like she wasn't sleeping, and then she admits it. She's like, "How long was I out?"
Got a target.
Like that happened today at like 9 o'clock. But when the phone hangs up and she hears the 3 beeps, it wakes her up.
Grenade out. Enemy in the area.
We've
Got
lost
your
half the
6.
field. Fight back.
But yeah, I can definitely go off on tangents talking to her, and she'll just call me and say, "Talk to me." What do you want the subject to be? And she'll be asleep immediately almost.
Drago.
Hostile airstrike incoming.
Well, thank you. Is Bird, does she still, I remember going over to her stuff, like, before she got in the big war with the Workyverse. And, like, she was live, like, almost all the time, but it was always somebody else that was doing it for her. Like, Naughty would be, like, pretty much doing the whole overnight, and Bird wasn't on there all that much. She just didn't. I don't know. Dang it, that's horrible. The tone and volume of Bird's voice. Yeah. I tell you, the one that got me was that Dana Hall the other day. Golly. I've never heard much of her. And, I mean, the stuff that she was saying.
Hostile UAV overhead.
I don't know. It's weird to hear. And, I mean, it's like vile stuff that she says. I think I may have heard my mom say, like, shit twice in my life. That's, like, as bad as it would be. It's funny, I didn't cuss around my mom till I was probably 40. And I still have to tone myself back pretty good.
Covering your 6.
We definitely have to censor myself around mom. Like my girlfriend, when she gets on one, she has a filthy mouth. Wow, that was a shot.
Changing mag.
But she's like, she's classy. Like, she's not gonna. She uses, you know, profanity to display her level of frustration with someone or a group of people.
Mission compromised. We are defeated.
Sly and Dana are the definition of why men are jumping ponds to find more traditional wives. Oh, Lord. What's up, 815, my guy? I didn't notice that was you. I was just figuring. I was just looking up at the blue. I saw the wrenches. Figured it was still just Gina and Naughty. Or not enough in here. I was about to say Naughty. Hers goes in and out. Yeah, so is it's funny to hear Merle, like when she wants to get on one, she gets that fake voice going. It's crazy. I was telling him about you coming in here last night, 815, talking about where did your wrench go. I had taken it from you. Oh, and then what'd you call me, a crackhead? Oh man, stretch it out. You fell asleep during the live too? Did you make it to where Patty made a big post about Rusty that he pulled up and read? That was interesting. Yeah, I don't know why she's so triggered about Rusty, because he really hasn't. Oh, I called you crackhead. I mean, Rusty hadn't really said that much bad stuff about her. Because like I said from the beginning, we kind of agreed as a group, like we just weren't gonna, like Patty was off limits. Like we kind of hold each other accountable to the fact that we didn't need to be talking about her. Again, because, you know, you only get one mother, it's family, you know. And that's just the way we left it for a while. You know, until things escalated to the point where, you know, it gets to a point where you deserve a response. Yeah, I think so too, Nada. I mean, but, you know, you can see, I mean, I'm sorry, if you got people that are talking like Sly and Dana were, and the things that Patty are saying, you can't hide behind the fact that you're a woman, you know, and then claim that, you know, you victimize women or verbally abuse them, you know, like they're not able to take the heat. You know, when those two dish it out, you know, they said, you know, you need to be calling it out. So, I mean, you know, women deserve it sometimes, just like men do. It's, yeah, I mean, the truth is, I mean, that's the thing. The truth is the truth, and, you know, as painful as it might be for some people, you know, they hate seeing it. So, again, when it gets to that point, like we've seen, you can't dispute the truth. You have to go to, you know, making personal attacks or trying to do something else. You have to come up with that anti-female agenda, anything you can do to try to discredit the person that, like I said, there's so many different things that we've wanted to do, like skit-wise, or, you know, just different stuff like that, and then we ultimately decide against it, you know, just because, you know, it's pretty much lying. You know, I guess there's a difference in trolling and lying, but, you know, it's you only get one chance with people to tell the truth, and, you know, once you've been uncovered as being a liar one time, what's going to keep you from lying to somebody, you know, repeatedly? And you know, that's just something I'm big on and always have been big on, for sure. I'm sitting here looking at my subscriptions, or like people I subscribe to. Let's see. Oh, Naughty's live. His Titleist Books is gay. Freaking Naughty's already lost 2 or 3 channels. It's pretty crazy. What else is on here? Did Tech9 and Jelly Roll do another? Austin did a reaction to, I think this song's been out for a while. I think.
That are broken. Stay here with us.
Yeah, this has been.
They think the smartest way out of it is departed. You tell.
Yeah, do y'all remember when, what up, Don? New Cook, yeah. Do y'all remember on Rusty's where we invited Austin to hang out that one night? And freaking AD comes in there and, you know, is calling him like retarded and like, who is this fucker? Like, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you know, we're just trying to be nice with Austin, you know, promote his shit. You know, obviously, you know, the guy's had some setbacks in life, and, you know, they just attack that guy based off of, you know, they hate us or whatever. And, you know, he had no, you know, AD comes in and, you know, makes no bones about coming in and just trying to shit on him. Calling him gay and all this other shit, you know. I don't know 815. If you search not, actually I can look and tell you. Because I'm subbed. He is live right now. I think it's
You
just...
need to send me a message on Instagram, and I'll send you the Discord.
It's just Noddy. Noddy.
Come on, man.
Nada says she's gonna go get it. AD sniffs used toilet paper. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Gotcha Man's new skit when I get off here. Well, I don't know if it's a skit or not. He has always talked about running from the police or something. Like, I don't know if it's a real story or like what the deal is. Don't know. That comment was hilarious. Who was it that said the tampon mafia? Who made that up in our chat tonight? Apparently it's in the comments section. I just switched over to my account. The other thing that's cool about like Rusty and my chat is we don't get, I mean, I know the mods take care of the shit when it happens, but we really don't get too many people that come over that try to, like, you know, hate and shit. Like, they try to troll. God, who was it that came up with the tampon mafia? Were you around for the live tonight, Don? I don't remember seeing you. It was a pretty good one. We didn't really have a topic. We pretty much just shot the shit. Let's see. Trying to look. Let's see. Oh, where's the comments? More like tampon mafia. I'd not seen Sly blabbing her mouth about Gobble. Great chat. You guys, normal people, including Mama Payday. Okay, so they didn't say who said it. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Only person timed out was AD, and you did it. Just PBR on an alt. Actually, PBR came into my live a couple times. But, I don't think he really said anything. Like, he didn't say anything worth getting, like, timed out or whatever. Yeah, that's good. That's definitely a good way to look at it. Oh, that's a great name for an animal. Pretzel. I like that 815. Old Pretzel. I like the whole thing that the truth doesn't have a gender. Yeah, they really can't stand Jasmine. You and Rusty are on his thumbnail. Who are you talking about, 815? ADs? Yeah, I like that name for sure. And Claire chick's pretty bad too. Claire has her moments. She definitely, she's over in ADs a lot, and she likes being the one that's in charge, like of the females. She definitely doesn't play well with other females for sure. Oh, PBR's thumbnail? Yeah, that's right. He went live tonight. That's odd that he went live, because he normally goes live at like 10 o'clock or like around that time period. But yeah, I want to say that somebody notified us that he was live, like, and we were at least an hour into it. Meaning he didn't go live till 11:30 or so. It was funny though, because he never drew more than like 50 people, and that we know that freaking kills him. The views are way down. You know, to the point where now he's making videos about comments. And like this whole Seeper thing, he stepped into that and like made 4 videos on it. I have to refrain from timing her out. It was Damn Yankee. Oh, were you gonna time out Damn Yankee? Robert was given the score. Yeah, you're right, dude. He's grasping at anything to try to become relevant. Dude, it was funny to, yeah, I think we should probably leave him alone. I mean, we've heard it, right? I mean, you know the story. It's always the same. It's the same canned responses. Oh, Claire. Gotcha. You know, so it's not like you're going to miss anything. Like his live tonight, I'm not going to watch it. His last live I saw, it was weird because when we were live, I listened in on his for like a 30-second segment, and they happened to be talking about Martin suing me. So I went back to find the clip, and that's all I saw of that live. I just can't stand hearing his voice. Like, it actually angers me. Just how freaking gross that dude is. Let's see. Does anything else happen out there tonight? I wonder if father son, if they went live. I thought I was subbed to him. You know how certain people just don't show up even though you're subbed to them? They never show up in your subscribed content. Let me see if they went live. Oh yeah, I guess they did. Shoot. And Mike was with them. I'll be damned. Well, hell, we held our own then. We got great supporters. That's awesome. I'll have to go back and check that out. What is this? Bluegrass? It's got Ryan with a guitar.
Yeah, I got it.
Ryan looks just gassed in this thing.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm gonna have to teach that boy how to play guitar. That'd be cool if he started playing guitar and singing. Sieber hangs with Wade, and PBR hates Wade. Hello, Mr. Luck again. He does. What is the deal? Is I saw this. They were acting like Sieber and Jasmine were like an item. Like, were they supposedly like dating or like talking to each other or whatever? That's kind of like what one of these videos. And then right before we went live tonight, somebody posted a video and it was Sieber, and it had Dana in it, and Dana is like claiming that her and Sieber went on a date together, and that he took her to like a Luke Bryan concert or some shit. It was really weird. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Could y'all hear that audio of the guitar when I was playing it? I'm wondering if you could. Like when Ryan, just a couple seconds ago. Okay, y'all heard it, so y'all would hear it if I... Let me try and... let's see. Okay, now y'all don't see shit. But you can hear. Let me see if I can figure out. Source. Screen capture. Add source. Screen capture. Screen. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can y'all see that? Do y'all see that Chrome window open? Yeah, I will. Not enough. I'm playing Seepers. He's not gonna strike me. It was really weird. Let's see. Oh, I see the thumbnail now. Who's on there? Sieber, 12 Point, Rusty, Wade, Power Stroke, Martin, Gale, myself, Uncle Will. I don't know who two of those guys are. The guy on the right or left of Uncle Will. I don't know who they are. I'm not sure on that. Anyway, alright, let's find Sieber. Oh, I guess the cat's out of the bag, live from Pigeon Forge. Of course, everybody knew that, I think. Sieber. Here it is. Listen to this fantasy date Dana has about me.
All about it.
Dana,
Yes, I am. I'm very important to you.
No, you're not.
Sieber, you know all about it. You know all about it,
God, that
Christopher.
is so
You know
annoying.
all about it.
Tell me about it.
Remember when you took me to the Luke Bryan concert in Starkville that you have the key to the city? Remember that? Remember that, Sleeper?
I've never in my life went to any fucking
Remember,
concert.
Sleeper?
And I'm definitely not going to Luke Bryan concert.
Yeah, right. yeah. You've never been. You've never been to a concert in Mississippi. Then you could not possibly have the key to the city of Oxford. City of Oxford. If you've never been to a concert in the state of Mississippi, right?
I see why you get along.
What are you talking about, 815? You talking about the one that when Fusion was on? Yeah, I listened to that. I didn't see, because I was on the phone with him, with the Fusion during some of that live. Like when he was muted, I was talking to him. And then, like I was texting him some. But I don't think he said anything bad about Rusty, did he? What did he say? Yeah, he typically doesn't. I mean, yeah, he won't say shit about me. I know he won't talk shit about me. Just because we talk a lot. I'll wait and see what you say that he said. But like PBR came on, and that's when I was talking to him because PBR, he kind of took over, and that's the night he had AD and Johnny just eating out of his hand. It was pretty funny. Let's see. They said Rusty was pathetic or something, and I swear he agreed. Nah, I mean he's always he's always been cool with Rusty. Like he's usually in our lives too. Like, but I mean hell, I've done 2 lives with him, like, and on my channel. But yeah, he totally supports us and what we're doing. And he wouldn't be the kind of person to just go bitch about, these streets have lots of eyes and ears. He would know that would travel. But yeah, let me play some more of this.
Long so good. You're both habitual liars. I thought we went to pizza yesterday. As we went to pizza,
Oh,
we went to a hotel and smoked weed. So y'all got to get your story straight.
Is that what I said? Is that what I said?
Is that what I said?
Is that what I said?
Saber.
I said we went to a hotel and we smoked weed. Is that what I said?
That's what
Really?
y'all said on y'all live panel.
Oh, is it? Well, I want you to post proof. I want you to post proof that that's what I've said, because I didn't smoke weed when I met you.
You didn't.
I said about the Pizza Hut. Oh, yeah, when I met you.
You didn't.
I said about the...
Alright, I can't listen to any more of that shit. That girl's voice is, whew. It gets to me. It's worse than Babel. But, anyway. I'm gonna shut it down, guys. It's freaking 7:30. I need to sleep for an hour or two. Watch some football. Even though my team sucks. I appreciate y'all coming by. It was fun hanging out for sure. And I'll come on here. I'll do shit on here and random. I don't mind talking to people while I play games, if I play games and shit. But I'll do I don't know when I'll do another live on my channel. Sometime soon, just whenever I feel like it. I realized earlier today I hadn't done anything on there, like as far as a live, in 10 days. And YouTube was starting to take subscribers from me, like they do. But of course they gave them back after the live tonight. it's so weird. If you pay attention to the algorithm or the analytics, it's crazy how that shit works. But yeah, I think the live tonight was really cool. We didn't have an agenda and covered some stuff, and then what all did we get into? We talked about the like the big trans, the push from the trans shit that's been shoved down everybody's throat, parenting, and I think anything else I'm trying to remember. We talked about the whole Johnny being triggered by them on vacation, not at rehab, and then of course Patty made her love letter to Rusty. And I don't know, I can't even remember what the rest of it was. But anyway, y'all have a good day today. Happy Sunday. Good morning, I guess I should say. Oh man, I wish I could eat something. That's 5 hours away. 4.5. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks again.